weeks. It was a lie. The president never gave me any deadline.
The death toll from flooding.
Most time our politicians just bring in policies too, for sure.
Incidentally, we have several more stories.
The legislature was carefully crafted to
22.2% inflation rate as of April this year. What does that say about where we are as a country?
I think Nigeria has resorted to being resilient.
Before you call a police station, before they even leave, they'll take permission from.
I don't think there's really anything on ground to improve.
We struggled, we had to
The
strike.
Minister of Education volunteered and said, give me 2 weeks. It was a lie. The president never gave me any deadline.
The death toll from flooding.
Most time our politicians just bring in policies too, for sure.
Incidentally, we have several more stories.
The legislature was carefully crafted to
22.2% inflation rate as of April this year. What does that say about where we are as a country?
I think Nigeria has resorted to being resilient.
Before you call a police station, before they even leave, they'll take permission from.
I don't think there's really anything on ground to improve.
We struggled, we had to
The
strike.
Minister of Education volunteered and said, give me 2 weeks. It was a lie. The president never gave me any deadline.
The death toll from flooding.
Most time our politicians just bring in policies too, for sure.
Incidentally, we have several more stories.
The legislature was carefully crafted to
22.2% inflation rate.
due to some technical issues, but we're glad to know you're there and you're ready to have an awesome day. Today is, of course, Saturday. It's the weekend show, and indeed we intend to give you a reflection of what played out in Africa's biggest black nation, Nigeria. And that means we'll be taking across all the happenings that took place within the last 7 days, and also giving you up-to-date news as regards what's playing out in the last 24 hours. And especially knowing fully well that it's been action across the sporting arena, as it's the international break where countries across the globe have been involved in one qualifier or the other. Not forgetting your darling Super Eagles were in action yesterday. So we'll be giving you an update of those and every other stories in between, and on the giving you details as what's playing out in the national dailies as regards the rivers crisis and other issues making the rounds. As recently, just in the last 24 hours, it seems everybody has woken up to the fact that the Nigerian police force did wrong in Rivers State, where the fact that they decided to pull out their services prior to the local government elections, where 22 local governments were swept away by the APP. So the big talking point is, why did the Nigerian police force decide to decide not to continue with their constitutional mandate of providing security and protecting lives and properties of the Nigerian citizens, as a lot of people have taken a stick on the Nigerian police force. So we'll be looking at that and other issues making the rounds. Also, we'll be taking a look at the Southeast, where some persons are already threatening to take the Southeast governors to a standstill if IDPs are moved. There's an IDP camp open in the Southeast as proposed by the federal government. We'll be looking at these and all other interesting happenings across the globe, not forgetting the U.S. elections that is upon us technically, as Donald Trump has said he would not be going into a second bout of a debate with Kamala Harris. This and other very interesting talking points is all we're going to be looking at on today's edition of Africa's Finest Breakfast Show, Global Morning. I'm not alone. I'll be joined, once we return from this quick break, we'll be joined by Jermaine Manson. So ensure that we truly give you a fantastic day ahead. Stay with us.
The death toll from flooding.
Most time our politicians just bring in policies too, for sure.
Incidentally, we have several more stories.
The legislature was carefully crafted to
22.2% inflation rate as of April this year. What does that say about where we are as a country?
I think Nigeria has resorted to being resilient.
Before you call a police station, before they even leave, they'll take permission from
I don't think there's really anything on ground to improve.
the struggle with ASU
The
strike.
Minister of Education volunteered and said, give me 2 weeks. It was a lie. The president never gave me any deadline.
toll from flooding.
Most time our politicians just bring in policies too, for sure.
Incidentally, we have several more stories.
The legislature was carefully crafted to
22.2% inflation rate as of April this year. What does that say about where we are as a country?
I think Nigeria has resorted to being resilient.
Before you call the police station, before they even leave, they'll take permission from
I don't think there's really anything on ground to improve.
the struggle with ASU
The
strike.
Minister of Education volunteered and said, give me 2 weeks. It was a lie. The president never gave me any deadline.
Global Morning is your ultimate destination for engaging political and economic matters. I am Uyi Agmofwebe.
And don't forget to include social discussions. Tune in every weekdays from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I am Queen Agaba.
For insightful breakfast ideas, business summaries, sports highlights, international and local news perspective, I am Anthony Momodu.
Don't miss the in-depth analysis of current and political issues by the Global Morning team and experts. I am Jumai Manson.
Catch Global Morning here on Global Television. Getting on the action. I am Edikan Michael.
We are
The Global Morning team.
Business Point on Global Television.
The business world can be dynamic and unpredictable, with headwinds and volatility sometimes becoming an obstacle for players in the business and economy landscape. Watch Business Point on Global Television as Samuel Oji walks you through the twists, turns and curves in bands, stocks and crucial market indices from a global standpoint. Watch Business Point weekdays on Global Television at 11 a.m. West African time. Business Point. This is business.
right, welcome back from that quick break, trying to fix some technical issues beyond our control, but we're glad to be back. And like I promised you, we intend to make your morning truly amazing. I'm not alone. I've got Jermaine Manson in the studio as we, you're looking orange.
I'm looking orange.
Yeah.
Really? Is that the compliment? Is that how you compliment someone?
Yeah, when you're wearing orange, indirectly you're looking orange.
I'm looking orange.
I'm not saying you're licking orange. I say you're looking.
Looking orange, okay. All right, it's a beautiful Saturday morning. It's great to be here to grace your TV sets. I am Jumai Manson, and it's a beautiful day. The weather is amazing this morning, amazing weather, and hope it stays like this till the end of the day. Hopefully, how is your Saturday going? They say Saturdays are for weddings, for celebrations, sporty events. How is your Saturday like? What's happening with your Saturday? So as we were here, but individuals out there, what's happening with your Saturday? But it's great to be here, though.
Yeah, interesting things are playing out. Like I told you earlier on, that yesterday it was the African Cup of Nations qualifiers across the globe, where even in Europe they were also playing their own qualifiers. In Africa, it was at Rio, where your darling Super Eagles of Nigeria did beat Libyan Mediterranean Knights 1-0 to put themselves in qualification brackets for the African Cup of Nations 2025. Also, some drama coming out in terms of the political scene, where yesterday we had issues concerning the People's Democratic Party, and Peter Fayose is coming out to say he is the chairman, the national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, while the court had said Damagu was have been removed. A lot of controversy concerning the People's Democratic Party. The APC have their own fair share, and also the issues playing out in Rivers State is also on the front burner as we look at issues making the rounds. All right, I don't know, for you, yesterday, did you watch the match? Nigeria beat Libya 1-0.
Yes, of course. You know, I'm a patriot. Any time, any day. I'm a fan when it comes to our national team, and of course, Super Eagles did justice to that match. Congratulations again. I'm happy. I'm excited, and all of that.
And yesterday we had to celebrate the girl child yesterday.
Yes.
How important. I knew you had some things regarding the girl child. You have a very strong stance concerning the girl child.
Of course. Like I've always said, if you watch them Inside Today, I said it's very important we celebrate the girl child because she's someone that adds impact in our society. And it's good to motivate the girl child at a very early age so she will understand her worth and her importance in society. You should inculcate the fact that you're a girl child. It doesn't limit you because you have a lot in front of you when it comes to, growing up and all of that, educational background, when it comes to marriage, when it comes to home front, when it comes to everything. The girl child, we're very unique when it comes to multi-task. My guest yesterday, he said, in-house, of course, he said the girl child is somebody that can, as a woman, because I'm a girl child too, so so at the same time, you can actually multitask. She's the only one that can cook, clean, sweep, do all of these things at the same time. So it's important that we understand that we try and motivate our girl child early enough to understand you can achieve greater heights. It's not just the kitchen that you're good at, or any other thing that some male folk, not all, but some male folk portrayed to be, that you're only good to be a housewife, you're only good to be in the kitchen and all of that. But we should understand that you can attain greatness. You can have your master's, you can have your doctorate, your PhD. It's very important. You can go all out. You can do it. They say what a man can do, a woman can do it better.
All right. So they say, and in some cases, obviously, and in others, you cannot cheat nature. It's always the man.
I'm not going to argue with you.
No, we don't argue. But it's reality. There's some things you cannot be the women to.
Of course.
There's some things you can be the men to.
Of course.
The men also do beat the women to their game. Like at times you see some men who are into this hair making and all that, and they're simply amazing.
Yes.
While some women, they would floor the men in certain areas of discipline. So that's how it goes.
And just to add, so people won't misconstrue what I'm about to say. The thing is, like I mentioned on the program, for as much as when it comes to that home front, when it comes to family, I am an advocate that a woman should be submissive to her husband. It's very important. But at the same time, you need someone to cheer you on, to achieve that height in which you want to attain. So at the same time, you can actually do dual roles. You can be an amazing mother, amazing wife, and still hold very high prominent appointments and still thrive when it comes to education, when it comes to society, when it comes to the economy, when it comes to development. You can still thrive in all areas without any barriers.
True. Well said there. All right, we'll be having some very interesting discourse this morning. We'll be looking at, since today's Saturday, we will be looking at something that seems to affect everybody across board, from the family front to society, the state, and nationally. We're talking about power, electricity, and so we'll be looking at that, the options, renewable energy. What are the options, the benefits of renewable energy, and the opportunities that lie within? So that's hopefully we'll be looking at by 8. Yes, that will be by 8:30. Some few minutes from now, we'll be joined by Harry Ide, who will be giving us some insight as regards the benefits and opportunities within that. When we go for this quick break, but just before we go for the quick break, just to let you know that there seem to be a lot of issues. And concerning Mr. President, we hear he has left the UK. He's heading to France. He'll be having some engagements, and so I think the president is having a swell time. Some say it's for medical reasons. Some say he's on a vacation. And so we wish Mr. President safe trip as he globetrotters, and hopefully he'll be back to meet Nigerians wailing and saying the petrol price is on the high side.
It is. It's affecting a lot. I know we cannot stop talking about the issue of the increase in petrol price. Like I met a driver who says it's really affecting each and every one of us in the country, that the cost of transportation is high. A lot of people prefer to, if it's not important, they will not go out. If it's not something that has to do with a matter of urgency, they will not leave where they are. So everyone has to sit down and prioritize which is better when it comes to movement. And then 2, it's not just about the increase of the price, the availability of the product is not there. As you can see, there's some very long queues in some filling stations. I hope you saw that yesterday. Very long. I couldn't even. I think I had to get the black market yesterday because I couldn't stay on that queue. It's very horrific, and I just pray that we get to the bottom of this, because this is something that affects each and every one of us. Not even talking about the high cost of food. Food is on the rise. When you go to the market, I'm sure what you bought last week or yesterday is not the same as today, unfortunately. So, but I got some from some individuals who actually said some filling stations are selling at the rate of 1,000 to some 1,250 in Abuja. So hopefully this just comes to normalcy really, really soon. It's really high, and we need to get to the roots and nip this in the bud. Very important.
All right, so we'll go for a quick break. When we return from the break, we'll be looking at, hopefully we'll be talking to Harry Ide, who joined us via Zoom from Kaduna, to give us insight as regards renewable energy, how Nigerians can beat the high tariff price of electricity in the country, and look at the options and benefits and opportunities they can grab from renewable energy. That will be after this quick break. Stay with us.
Global Morning is your ultimate destination for engaging political and economic matters. I am Uyi Agmofwebe.
And don't forget to include social discussions. Tune in every weekdays from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I am Queen Agaba.
For insightful breakfast ideas, business summaries, sports highlights, international and local news perspective, I am Anthony Momodu.
Don't miss the in-depth analysis of current and political issues by the Global Morning team and experts. I am Jumai Manson.
Catch Global Morning here on Global Television. Getting on the action. I am Edikan Michael.
We are
the Global Morning team.
Business Point on Global Television.
The business world can be dynamic and unpredictable, with headwinds and volatility sometimes becoming an obstacle for players in the business and economy landscape. Watch Business Point on Global Television as Samuel Oji walks you through the twists, turns and curves in bands, stocks and crucial market indices from a global standpoint. Watch Business Point weekdays on Global Television at 11 a.m. West African time. Business Point. This is business.
Global Morning is your ultimate destination for engaging political and economic matters. I am Uyi Agmofwebe.
And don't forget to include social discussions. Tune in every weekdays from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I am Queen Agaba.
For insightful breakfast ideas, business summaries, sports highlights, international and local news perspective, I am Anthony Momodu.
Don't miss the in-depth analysis of current and political issues by the Global Morning team and experts. I am Jumai Manson.
Catch Global Morning here on Global Television. Getting on the action. I am Edikan Michael.
We are
the Global Morning team.
Business Point on Global Television.
The business world can be dynamic and unpredictable, with headwinds and volatility sometimes becoming an obstacle for players in the business and economy landscape. Watch Business Point on Global Television as Samuel Oji walks you through the twists, turns and curves in bands, stocks and crucial market indices from a global standpoint. Watch Business Point weekdays on Global Television at 11 a.m. West African time. Business Point. This is business.
You're welcome back. It's Global Television, and yes, it is Global Morning. And today we're going to be talking about renewable energy, and I am not doing it alone. I have Henry Ide here with me. He's joining via Zoom, and he is the Regional Sales Manager, Cloud Energy. All right. Good morning, Mr. Henry. Are you here? Good morning. Can you hear me? Right, of course, I will be joined by Henry Ide really soon. And we're going to be talking about renewable energy and compared to what we have from the normal electricity that we have, comparing, let us see what are the advantage and disadvantage of renewable energy and the way forward for Nigerians, basically, if it's actually the way forward that can help to douse the issue of the high cost of electricity in Nigeria at the moment. We're going to quickly go on a quick break to ensure that Mr. Henry Ide joins up, and don't go anywhere. The program continues shortly. Stay tuned. All right, you're welcome back from that very quick break. And my guest has arrived, no other than Henry Ide, and yes, he is the Regional Sales Manager, Cloud Energy. Mr. Henry, it's great to have you on the program, Global Morning, this beautiful Saturday morning. Mr. Henry, are you here? Okay, let's quickly go on a very, very quick break so we can ensure that you can hear me and I can hear you also, Mr. Henry. Do not go anywhere. The program continues shortly.
Global Morning is your ultimate destination for engaging political and economic matters. I am Uyi Agmofwebe.
And don't forget to include social discussions. Tune in every weekdays from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I am Queen Agaba.
For insightful breakfast ideas, business summaries, sports highlights, international and local news perspective, I am Anthony Momodu.
Don't miss the in-depth analysis of current and political issues by the Global Morning team and experts. I am Jumai Manson.
Catch Global Morning here on Global Television. Getting on the action. I am Edikan Michael.
We are
the Global Morning team.
Business Point on Global Television.
The business world can be dynamic and unpredictable, with headwinds and volatility sometimes becoming an obstacle for players in the business and economy landscape. Watch Business Point on Global Television as Samuel Oji walks you through the twists, turns and curves in bands, stocks and crucial market indices from a global standpoint. Watch Business Point weekdays on Global Television at 11 a.m. West African time. Business Point. This is business.
All right, you're welcome back, and it's Global Morning on Saturday. And like I said, I will be talking with Mr. Henry Ide. He is the Regional Sales Manager of Cloud Energy, talking about renewable energy, a substitute when it comes to power. Of course, we know about the high increase of the electricity tariff and all of that. Let's see if there is a way we can actually balance it and go green, like they will say, or looking at renewable energy at the moment. And of course, Mr. Henry Ide, are you here? Hello, Mr. Henry. Good morning. I can hear you, but you're a bit faint. All right, Mr. Henry, are you here? All right. I'm sure Mr. Henry is having a little bit of issue concerning his own end. Hello? Are you here? So we're going to be looking at renewable energy and of course, the advantage in which it will bring us as Nigerians. And, you know, many people will tell you, I prefer, for those of you wondering what renewable energy is all about, talking about the solar, the green energy, and all of that, just to substitute what we have currently, which is the electricity tariff and all of that. Many people are delving into the way of the solar energy. Now, let us see how many Nigerians can keep up with that. It's very encouraging when you see that the solar runs 24 hours and electricity tariff in which we pay that are very high in cost when it comes to band A, band B, band C. So the solar energy just gives that balance and you do not have to pay any tariff. But let us see what advantage it has, and that is why we have a specialist who is going to be on board to tell us and really delve into it, what this particular renewable energy is all about, if it has come to stay, if it will stand the test of time, and also if there is a backlash when it comes to renewable energy at the moment. And I'm sure Henry Ide is going to join us to talk more on it, so we'll understand whether renewable energy is the way forward or not. Let's go on a very quick break. The program continues shortly. Stay tuned.
Morning is your ultimate destination for engaging political and economic matters. I am Uyi Agmofwebe.
And don't forget to include social discussions. Tune in every weekdays from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I am Queen Agaba.
For insightful breakfast ideas, business summaries, sports highlights, international and local news perspective, I am Anthony Momodu.
Don't miss the in-depth analysis of current and political issues by the Global Morning team and experts. I am Jumai Manson.
Catch Global Morning here on Global Television. Getting on the action. I am Edikan Michael.
We are
the Global Morning team.
Business Point on Global Television.
The business world can be dynamic and unpredictable, with headwinds and volatility sometimes becoming an obstacle for players in the business and economy landscape. Watch Business Point on Global Television as Samuel Oji walks you through the twists, turns and curves in bands, stocks and crucial market indices from a global standpoint. Watch Business Point weekdays on Global Television at 11 a.m. West African time. Business Point. This is business.
All right, you are welcome back to the program, Global Morning Saturday edition. And like I said, I am joined via call by Mr. Henry Ide. He's the Regional Sales Manager, North Cloud Energies. All right, good morning, Mr. Henry. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. And you?
I am fine. And it's great to have you on the program, Global Morning.
Well, it's wonderful to be here this morning. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
All right. Now, let's look at renewable energy. Now, for someone who is wondering, what is it all about? Just give us a brief on what renewable energy is all about.
Okay, thank you very, very much. Basically, renewable energy, let me put it more like in a layman's form, is an energy derived basically from natural sources like that are basically replenished at a higher rate than they consumed. And these sources could be sunlight, could be wind, could be water.
Mm-hmm.
As such, those sources are constantly being replenished.
Okay.
In abundance. And they're plentiful all around us. And that's why we call it renewable energy. These are natural sources that could be used to form energy that we could put into use on a daily basis.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's explaining what renewable energy is.
It has a bit, because you mentioned wind, you mentioned sunlight and all of that. Okay, let's what are the types of renewable energy that we're looking at the moment for individuals? I know you just explained what it entails when it has to do with wind, when it has to do with light and all of that. But what are the types of renewable energy that we have at the moment that are functioning and it's the way forward? Mr. Henry? Hello, Mr. Henry? Hello? Can you hear me? All right, let's quickly go on a very short break. The program. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I said, please tell us the type of renewable energy that... Okay, yes. The type of renewable energy that we have at the moment that is functioning right now, that is in use by some of us. Maybe some of us, we don't really understand what that is renewable energy that we're using.
Okay. Basically, like in Nigeria, the basic form of renewable energy we use in Nigeria currently is actually the sun.
Mm-hmm.
I know recently you've been hearing a lot of, or maybe seeing it around, a lot of panels on rooftops.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because of the abundance of sunlight we have actually in this part of, the world actually.
Mm-hmm.
We are lucky to have so much sunlight in this part of the world. So that's why we're trying to leverage on the opportunity to tapping into it to ensure that we have a replacement for the usual form of energy that we're used to that actually contributes to, let's say, greenhouse gas emission, which is not healthy, which is also contributing to the global warming and climate change we're currently experiencing.
All right. Now, Mr. Henry Ide, of course we know that that's the solar which you're talking about, right?
Yes.
It's just the solar you just mentioned. When you mentioned panels and all of it, when it has to do with sun, we know it's the solar. Now, we have disadvantages when it comes to that, because what if it rains all through the day? Do I still have power to function in my household?
Yeah, why not? Why not? That's why once it comes to setting up a solar device, will I say, in a household, or a complete solar system actually comprises of not just a panel, it has also what is called the battery.
Okay.
Also has the inverter, and normally the battery is the form of storage for whatever electricity that is being trapped by the tunnel, that's by the panel, and then stored into the battery. So at those points when it's raining, you can always use the energy stored in the battery. And normally you don't need a heavy sunlight to be able to power your panels, as once the sun is rising as early as 6 a.m., your panels are already already tapping the sunlight energy and converting it into electricity already.
Now, I want to ask, really, looking at so now let's just shift guard to the solar panel, for instance. Now, we know that there's a particular kV that it can, like, does it work with the refrigerator, with the fridge, for people? Now, why is it that this renewable energy, do you think, is the way forward at the moment when we look at the high cost of the electricity tariff, when we were talking about band A, band B, band C? Now, how is renewable energy the way forward for us as a nation, for nation development?
Yeah, thank you very much. What is happening currently, we know that the tariff, especially for band A, has gone to an incredible amount. Is on the increase right now.
Yes, it is.
People on band A now can barely even use electricity in their homes because they're charging, let me say, per every 1,000 you're only getting 4 units. And what you're consuming in your household, they are charging you is at the rate of 252 naira per kilowatts, which is actually very expensive. And the alternative for people basically are the fossil fuel we're used to, which is the coal, oil, and gas. Let me just say the diesel or petrol that we're used to on a daily basis. Some people have substituted it for electricity because of the increase in tariff. But now, coming to the cost of the fossil fuel right now, with what we're seeing currently in the market, with the increase just a few days ago of PMS, which has gone above 1,000 naira now. Is that sustainable? You discover that a lot of homes even can't even actually afford to even use this alternative power, which is in terms of PMS or diesel anymore, in powering their household or businesses anymore. And it's actually creeping a lot of businesses recently. And there has been a lot of shutdown of especially manufacturing industries are hugely complaining, because most of their machines can't even be powered anymore because of the high cost of diesel and alternative energy. Even the tariff is not even sustainable for them. And now, the solution is solar, which is the only way out for Nigerians. It's the future for us. It's actually highly affordable.
Okay.
It can power from lightning bulbs to televisions, to refrigerators, to air conditions, to power machines, sumos, borehole machines at any rate, and manufacturing machines, as much as from 1 kVA, 2 kVA, 100 kVA, as much as 1 megawatt. You can have as much as that to be installed for you to be able to power factories, communities, households, and it depends on actually what you want to do. But basically, before that is done, we do what is called an energy assessment or an energy audit to ensure we know what you intend to power with the solar so-called you want to be installed in your household or your business premises. We'll do an assessment to ensure we know the energy rating of all of the appliances. And recently, we've been doing an awareness at Cloud Energy because we observe a lot of households don't even know what the amount of energy they use in their homes. They just go out, buy the normal units, you're on band A or band B or whatever, and you buy the normal units, you come, you load it, and the next thing you complain, and then you start insulting the government. You say that it doesn't last you anymore. Our advice to people is this. In as much as we also want you to go completely solar, we also advise you to also look at your appliances or your use of appliances in your household. A lot of people are using what is called AC appliances, alternate current appliances.
Okay.
And we've been advising them to switch to what is called DC appliances, which is direct current appliances, which actually have a minimal, very low consumption rate in terms of energy. Okay, I don't know. Let me take us back to some years back.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard of what is called a 100 watts bulb. In
yes,
those days, people
of
have
course.
them in their homes. Someone will have a 100 watt bulb in his sitting room. Why would someone have a 100 watt bulb in his sitting room when you can have a 5 watt DC bulb that will be even brighter than the 100 watts bulb in your home.
Wow. Okay.
You can imagine.
It's because there's no awareness when it comes to differentiating which is which is better.
Yeah, perfect. So you see, if I have a 100 watts bulb in my house, or maybe in my room, let me say my sitting room, I have 4 of those kind of bulbs. We're talking about 400 watts bulbs in just a sitting room, just for lighting purpose. And I buy a 1,000 unit. How long will it last me with someone that is buying 5 watts bulb by 4, which is 20 watts?
Wow.
You see the huge difference?
Yes, a huge one.
So those awareness need to be put into place. It also goes with televisions and other appliances. There are sumos, that's the borehole machines, are just less than 1 horsepower. And some people are using the same machines that are like 2 horsepowers, which can also serve the same purpose at the same time. And so why? So I think it's also very important for our, let's say, maybe possibly NEC, which is the Regulatory Commission in terms of electricity, and the right body to come into creating more awareness for people to understand that despite the fact we have this huge increase in our tariff,
true,
we can also do something about it by maybe changing most of the appliances we have in our household to mostly to DC appliances. You can see a 60-inch television that is just basically 50 watts. And I've seen households we've gone to that are using a 32-inch television that is 300 watts.
Oh my goodness.
So that gap needs to be filled.
Yes,
I think that
is.
information sensitization has to be done.
All right, Mr. Henry Ide, this has brought relief when it comes to the home front. Now, let's talk about renewable energy in the when we're looking at transportation now. How does it fit in? How do we go about it?
Yeah, I think the awareness basically even started from Elon Musk with his innovations, and a lot of people are beginning to see the need to have vehicles that are actually powered by renewable energy sources.
Sure.
It could be solar, but not solar. We also have biomass. Also is also a form of renewable energy. Like as much as also wind. It depends on whatever sources we're using. Like I said, this renewable energy, these are sources that are replenished in larger volumes than they are even consumed.
Okay. All right. So there's actually a form of renewable energy when it comes to the low cost of transportation. All right, Mr. Henry, let's quickly go on a very quick break and the program continues shortly. Stay tuned. You're welcome back, and it's Global Morning Saturday edition. And I am here. I'm not doing it alone, but via phone. I am with Mr. Henry Ide. He's the regional sales manager, North Cloud Energy, and he's talking about the importance, creating a little bit of awareness when it comes to renewable energy, which everyone is. You have to know that renewable energy is the way forward when it comes to the high cost of electricity tariff, and a lot of individuals are complaining when it comes comes to Ban A, Ban B, Ban C. So it's just better we understand what this is all about, on how we can cut costs when it comes to household appliances and, of course, when it comes to transportation. All right, Mr. Henry. Mr. Henry, are you here? Hello, Mr. Henry. All right, I'm sure he's going to join in short. Mr. Henry, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Now, tell us why it is important to, let's turn our focus to renewable energy as the way forward to actually douse this issue when it comes to the high cost of electricity tariff and the high cost of transportation, because that is the big now that it's a major concern for Nigerian and, of course, for the development of Nigeria. Why is renewable energy important, and why is it the way forward at the moment? Mr. Henry?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, okay.
Did you hear my question, please?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Yes. Maybe I need to debate a bit, because it's very important for us to talk about the importance of renewable energy when it comes to, firstly, the health benefits before we talk about any other form, maybe based on cost benefits or maybe economic benefits. The health benefit is very, very important. You know, of recent, actually, the human activities are on the increase and is actually overloading the atmosphere with a lot of, let me say, carbon dioxide, and also there's what we call also greenhouse gas emission. And most of these greenhouse gas emissions actually come from basically the fossil fuels that we use on a daily basis, and this actually blankets the earth. And invariably, what I'm trying to say is that it prevents the sun heat from reaching the earth. So these greenhouse gas emissions actually traps the heat that's coming from the sun, which invariably affects nature's balance. That is why of late you begin to see a lot of harmful impacts, natural harmful impact when it comes to floods. You begin to see floods that are becoming heavier. You begin to see storms that are becoming stronger. The sea level is rising unexpectedly. And that's why it's very important for us to also understand why we all need to go green. We need to promote renewable energy because of the huge health and environmental benefits it has for us as humans. Because with the increase in greenhouse gas emissions that is blanketing the earth and trapping the sun heat from reaching
all right, Mr. Henry. Mr. Henry, are you there?
Hello, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
I can hear you now.
So the world basically, that's what we're talking about, global warming and climate change actually currently right now, because the world is actually warming up faster than at any point in ever recorded history, which is, like I said earlier, changing the weather patterns, and we're getting a disruption in the usual balance of nature. And this poses a lot of risks to humans and any other forms of life, and also on Earth, basically. So that being said, on the importance of renewable energy and why it's very important for us to go on that level of using renewable energy in every other form of our energy use for the health purposes. Then now, deviate a little bit also on why it's also important for us to use when it comes to, let me say, saving costs and also for financial benefits and also for economic growth. A lot of businesses recently, agree with me, have been shutting down because of the cost of power which is energy, is not more sustainable for them. They are running huge costs in terms of electricity bills, with increase in what we currently experiencing, the banding, the tariffs bands, band A, band B. People are spending much more money than even what they have been getting out of their businesses. And we know that most of the businesses in Nigeria actually rely on power, which is why a lot of businesses can't even, they had to shut down. And we've been advising a lot of individuals really to say, okay, fine, if we have to go green, or we have to go into renewable energy, and we have to use what is very, very abundant to us in use currently, like in Nigeria. This sources is available to us, which is basically the sunlight energy, and that is why we are going, basically we're doing more of solar installations, and people are going into solar part of the renewable energy as a source of power. Hugely in Nigeria, basically, and this part of Africa. There are also a lot of countries that I think completely 80 to 90% energy use as a nation is basically using solar energy and also other forms of renewable energy. They've gone completely with.
Mr. Henry. Hello, Mr. Henry. Okay. Mr. Henry, are you back now?
And also of late. I guess I went off a bit.
Yes, you did.
Okay. And also, there have been huge job creation recently with the invent of renewable energy.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of increase because of a lot of production and manufacturing of renewable energy appliances or materials, or let's say technology. Mm-hmm. It's on the increase.
Okay.
And and nationally, we look at it, if you maybe consult with most HR recruitment firms, they will tell you that 40 to 50% of the recruitment ongoing currently in Nigeria are from the renewable energy sector. So it's also creating a lot of job opportunities for people, because people are beginning to realize and are beginning to be more aware of the need and the importance of renewable energy in terms of replacement for what we know currently as the electricity we use, which is actually very expensive, and the alternative people have been using, which is a fossil fuel, in terms of a diesel or PMS, is also actually very expensive. Also, it's not affordable anymore.
Okay,
and the only form of affordability now they can get is solar, because at the long run, it's yours. You own your own electricity. The minimum duration period you can have to even worry about maintenance or anything is 5-6 years.
Okay. And these panels, you at the beginning, Mr. Henry, are you there? Hello, Mr. Henry.
So sorry, my network I think is a bit. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can perfectly. Now, at the beginning, let me just interject a bit. You mentioned at the beginning that these panels, you said panels are like the source of light when it comes to bringing in light when it comes to solar and all that. These panels, can they actually stand the test of time? Is it like a guarantee to 5 to 6 years before we start talking about maintenance, upgrade, and all of that?
Yeah. The good thing about the panels, the way they're actually manufactured, and there are cells around them, and if you even go to the market, the minimum duration or period of time they will give you on a warranty for a panel is 25 years. The panel can stay up to 50 years, but normally you get we want to live up to 50 years, maybe. That's why. So you see, most of the panels come with a warranty of 25 years. So that's how long panels can last, and that's how much your investment can last. When you buy panels, they last you up to 25 years minimum on the average. Except maybe there's a physical damage, fine, but that's on the average how long the panel can last you. And like I said earlier, when you have the complete system for a solar installation actually comes with the panel, like I said, the inverter also, and also the charge controller, and also the battery, which is very important, also the storage. Like you said earlier and asked earlier, if maybe during rainy season or maybe when
exactly
it's dark
exactly
or maybe when it's dark at night. When it's dark at night, how does the person or the individual use the electricity since the sunlight is no more available at that moment? That's why it's very important to also have the storage, which is the battery storage system.
But Mr. Henry, I'm sorry to interject. When you say the battery, it needs electricity to charge the battery, right?
Yeah, you know this that's what the panel does. The panels traps the sunlight energy
into the battery.
Into electricity. Yeah, it converts into electricity first.
Okay.
Which you can actually use even without a battery. But what the battery does is that it stores this extra or excess electricity, or maybe when you're not putting it into use, it helps you store this electricity. This form of energy now has been converted into electricity.
Okay.
For use for later purpose.
Oh, okay, excellent. Now talking about, I know there's some batteries that actually use that they use electricity to charge, like a backup. What's the difference between what the solar panel does by, you said it puts it into the battery for later use. What's the difference with that now?
Okay, like I said, the battery basically can store whatever comes to it as a form of electricity.
Okay.
Now, if you generate electricity with the use of a generator, maybe with diesel.
Okay.
If you have a battery, it will still store it as electricity.
Okay.
If you have electricity generated from a panel, from sunlight, it still stores it as electricity. So the battery is just a storage system that accepts the form of electricity that comes into it.
Okay. All right, Mr. Henry, I'm sure this particular question I want to ask is in the minds of a lot of individuals. This particular question is this particular question I want to ask you right now, I think it's hitting the nail on the head. Now, for individuals who have solar panels, when it comes to inverters and all of that, they tell you the bigger the panel or the bigger the battery, the longer the electricity in the home front. Now, for individuals who cannot afford the bigger panels or larger batteries, how do they go about it in order for them to generate light? Because I know the amount. So how affordable is this renewable energy that we're all singing the praises about at the moment? Is it affordable for the common man?
Yeah, it's actually very affordable for the common man. And I don't know if I would do a little bit of analysis with you. Now, you know the generator they call Pass My Neighbor?
Yes, I know they are Pass My Neighbor.
Okay. And you know the capacity of the generator is just about 4 liters, basically. And you can use 4 liters to cut across let me say basically 4 or 5 hours, or maybe at most 6 hours.
7 hours.
Okay, let's say 7 hours.
We used it in school, so I remember it's 7 hours.
Okay, so let's put it now. The cost of PMS right now, currently fuel now is we know that is 1,000. We use the normal NNPC price. Okay, let's use the normal NNPC price.
But some filling stations are selling at a rate of 1,250, some 1,200. But NNPC price is 1,039.
Which is practical. So okay. So let's take that 1,200 and multiply it by the 4 liters we have. Now, if we multiply by the 4 liters we have now, we're getting 4,800 for use within, you said 7 hours?
Yes, 7 hours.
So we're having an average of use of electricity for 7 hours a day. So if you have to put that into play for 30 days, you're going to get 144,000 averagely on the cost of electricity.
Okay.
On a monthly basis. Now, if we take also, let's use the normal band A customer that is buying 1,000 units, or let me say 10,000 units comes with 20 units, right? The 10,000 cost of units for a Band A customer is 20 units.
Yes.
And if such customer will have to put all the appliances up, with television up, and put it into use, he's going to use that within 24 hours. So we're looking at also, okay, maybe let's put it on the average. He might use 15 units about.
Okay.
15, okay. Okay, if we have to knock off ACs out, you might be able to be using, let's say he will use it like 10 units on the average in a day. And that 10 units on average in a day will be at the cost of about 3,000, right?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, 3,000. So if you have to multiply 3,000 on a daily basis by 30 days, you're getting 90,000.
Okay.
So you're getting 90,000 for using the normal electricity, and then you're getting 144,000 using what is called the normal petrol fuel.
Okay. All right. There's a difference there. Mr. Henry.
That's
yes. There's a big difference there.
Yes, a big difference. This is we're looking at people that are living maybe low-income earners that actually can afford some of these items, because you can't go to a household and even see in a big household a lot of people using my past my neighbor generator. We're taking the low-income earners into play now. That's
exactly
on the average now.
Exactly.
Now, on the solar now, let's come back to the solar now. Basically, like you said, the bigger the battery, or maybe
the panel,
the capacity of the battery and the panel,
the more expensive it is.
You get.
True.
Now, there's a simple calculation that is done around it normally, for you to know how long these appliances can last you, and also the cost. On the average, like in cloud energy right now, you can get electricity, that's a solar that will sell, that can actually power your basic appliances, like maybe for lighting purpose, for as low as 33,000.
Okay. All right, Mr. Henry. And now you have explained to us that it's when it comes to that, solar energy, renewable energy is the way forward, because that is really, really quite low when it comes to, well, basically, you've talked about the benefits, you've talked about the opportunity that it brings, you've talked about job employment, you've talked about the earth when it comes to the green energy and all of that. Well, this is where we have to wrap up the program. Thank you for the awareness. Thank you for the enlightenment when it comes to renewable energy. Thank you so much, Mr. Henry Ida. And of course, you are the Regional Manager Sales North of Cloud Energy, right?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you so much for the enlightenment.
Thank you for this great opportunity.
Yes, and like they say, go green, right? We're going green.
Yes, go green for better life.
Go green for better life. Thank you so much, Mr. Henry. Have an amazing day ahead, okay?
And you too. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, I hope we've understood what Mr. Henry Ida have actually broken down to us when it comes to renewable energy, talking about the solar panel and all of that encompassed for low cost of electricity, and of course when it comes to transportation. So like we say, go green for a better life. Let's quickly go on a very quick break. Global Morning Saturday edition continues shortly. Stay tuned.
Global Morning is your ultimate destination for engaging political and economic matters. I am Uyi Agmofwebe.
And don't forget to include social discussions. Tune in every weekdays from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I am Queen. Agaba.
For insightful breakfast ideas, business summaries, sports highlights, international and local news perspective, I am Anthony Momodu.
Don't miss the in-depth analysis of current and political issues by the Global Morning team and experts. I am Jumai Manson.
Catch Global Morning here on Global Television. Getting on the action. I am Edikan Michael.
We are
the Global Morning team.
Business Point on Global Television.
The business world can be dynamic and unpredictable, with headwinds and volatility sometimes becoming an obstacle for players in the business and economy landscape. Watch Business Point on Global Television as Samuel Oji walks you through the twists, turns and curves in bands, stocks and crucial market indices from a global standpoint. Watch Business Point weekdays on Global Television at 11 a.m. West African time. Business Point. This is business.
Global Morning is your ultimate destination for engaging political and economic matters. I am Uyi Agmofrebe.
And don't forget to include social discussions. Tune in every weekdays from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I am Queen Agaba.
For insightful breakfast ideas, business summaries, sports highlights, international and local news perspective, I am Anthony Momodu.
Don't miss the in-depth analysis of current and political issues by the Global Morning team and experts. I am Jumai Manson.
Catch Global Morning here on Global Television. Get in on the action. I am Edikan Michael.
We are
the Global Morning team.
Business Point on Global Television.
The business world can be dynamic and unpredictable, with headwinds and volatility sometimes becoming an obstacle for players in the business and economy landscape. Watch Business Point on Global Television as Samuel Oji walks you through the twists, turns and curves in bands, stocks and crucial market indices from a global standpoint. Watch Business Point weekdays on Global Television at 11 a.m. West African time. Business Point. This is business.
You're welcome back from that very short break. And yes, this is Global Morning, the Saturday edition. And we just heard a lot about renewable energy and the opportunities that it brings. And of course, the way forward. A lot of people will be changing gear when it comes to renewable energy, especially when it comes to the solar system. Yes, because they feel like what Mr. Henry Ida said. He said the sun, we should make better use of the sun to bring power into our households. Of course, that particular aspect when it comes to household appliances, when it comes to lights, when it comes to refrigerators, televisions and all of that is handled. But what about the transportation aspect, which of course renewable energy has come to stay? He says go green and stay healthy. Of course, that is the way forward when it comes to renewable energy at the moment, because we have to consider the high cost of electricity tariff is on the high. A lot of individuals are complaining. Some don't even know where they fall in. They say they do not use up to the 20 hours light and they're on band A. Like, we do not understand. We think, some people will tell you band A is for the high profile individuals, but you'll be surprised that the middle class and the lower class, some are in band A, surprisingly, and they have to pay that amount in which these high profile individuals pay, which some will say is unfair. And of course, we know that NNPC fuel is at 1,013 naira per litre, but some filling stations from a reliable source, when we went round, spoke about it and say some filling stations are selling at a rate of 1,200, some 1,250 naira. How far would this be? We do not know. The long queues in the filling station is not something that is very palatable to a common man, a common Nigerian. So it's unfortunate to say that this will definitely affect a lot of issues going forward when it comes to, like we know, transportation, till when we see that societal development brings in renewable energies when it comes to bringing down the cost of transportation, which will go a long way. Of course, we've heard about the CNG buses, but we're waiting to see how effective that will be, and of course, if it's sustainable and if it will actually stand the test of time in some various states, which is ongoing at the moment. Now, looking at the cost of transportation, high cost of living, inflation everywhere, a lot of individuals are complaining a lot. But at the same time, we know that this particular administration is trying as much as it can to make effort, but seeing the effort is where is a major problem. So looking at the renewable energy, we know that for those who are planning on going to get renewable energy, which is the way forward, according to Mr. Henry, the sustainability that is involved when it comes to renewable energy, not bothering yourself about the high cost of electricity tariff and all of that, and the environmental impact, the health, when it comes to health, and there are no air pollution or noise pollution except when you have to recharge the batteries, like Mr. Henry mentioned. And at the same time, looking at the job creation that it impacts the societal development when it comes to job creation in our country. Of course, economic growth, which is one of the way forward. We have lower energy costs when it, like I mentioned, the high cost of electricity tariff will not affect renewable energy because it has come to stay. It's natural from the sun, so it goes a long way. And he mentioned not just the sun, he said we have wind and all of that. And technological innovation. When we hear about renewable energy, the technology that comes with it actually goes a long way also. And the energy resilience, water conservation, and we have long-term stability. And he said the panels can last as long as 50 years. Well, that, will I say, that is pounds wise when it comes to spending money, the sustainability in which the panels come, except when it has to do with damage and all of that. But that is a long time, and that will give one a run for his or her money. So I think we should consider, when it comes to renewable energy, give it a chance and see how well this plays off, and see how we can douse down when it comes to the high cost of electricity tariff, in which a lot of individuals are complaining about. A lot of people who are under the ban, they do not even use up all their electricity because they're scared of the at the end of the month, the bill that comes with that particular measure by using all of your home appliances. Well, it's unfortunately that this is where we found ourselves in Nigeria, and we hope that way forward things will be better. And let's just quickly go on a very quick break and quickly come back and wrap up the program this beautiful Saturday morning. Stay tuned.
Global Morning is your ultimate destination for engaging political and economic matters. I am Uyi Agmofwebe.
And don't forget to include social discussions. Tune in every weekdays from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I am Queen Agaba.
For insightful breakfast ideas, business summaries, sports highlights, international and local news perspective, I am Anthony Momodu.
Don't miss the in-depth analysis of current and political issues by the Global Morning team and experts. I am Jumai Manson.
Catch Global Morning here on Global Television. Getting on the action. I am Edikan Michael.
We are
the Global Morning team.
Business Point on Global Television.
The business world can be dynamic and unpredictable, with headwinds and volatility sometimes becoming an obstacle for players in the business and economy landscape. Watch Business Point on Global Television as Samuel Oji walks you through the twists, turns and curves in bands, stocks and crucial market indices from a global standpoint. Watch Business Point weekdays on Global Television at 11 a.m. West African time. Business Point. This is business.
Oh, welcome back to Global Morning Weekend. Of course, this is the Saturday edition, and we just spoke about renewable energy. We spoke a lot about the Super Eagles and their victory yesterday, and looking at, again, celebrating the girl child, which was 11th October yesterday, celebrating the girl child. I cannot get enough of talking about it when it comes to the girl child. But before then, still looking at renewable energy and how it impacts us as a society, and of course, the development benefits in which it entails and it comes with. And now let's switch to the girl child, which is of importance. The girl child is someone that we should look up to and know that she makes a lot of difference and she makes an impact in our society. For many who say to themselves, what can the girl child actually bring to the table? A lot, with a lot of support from you and from men that we see around that give that support, like men that give birth to all girls, and you wonder to themselves, that moral support of attaining greater heights is part of the accomplishment of a girl child, which you know she can balance it all when it comes to family, when it comes to education, when it comes to her job, when it comes to business, whatever it entails, she brings that also to the table. And with that, I have to wrap it up on the program, Global Morning Saturday Weekend edition, and hope you had an amazing time with us. And just keep watching Global Television. I am Jumai Manson. Have an amazing day ahead. Bye-bye.
From flooding.
Most time our politicians just bring in policies too, for sure.
Incidentally, we have several more stories.
The legislature was carefully crafted to
22.2% inflation rates as of April this year. What does that say about where we are as a country?
I think Nigeria has resorted to being resilient.
Before you call the police station, before they even leave, they'll take permission from
I don't think there's really anything on ground to improve.
The struggle with ASU strike.
The Minister of Education volunteered and said, give me 2 weeks. It was a lie. The president never gave me any deadline.